Welcome to Newsboy on Track for Monday the 25th of March. Will she or won't she? Black Caviar, that is. Will she come to Royal Ascot in 2013? The Aussie wondermare recorded the 24th victory of her career at Moonee Valley on Friday, and since then trainer Peter Moody has been making rather more positive noises about whether she will return to the Royal Heath. Remember, of course, she won in such dramatic circumstances there last year. One firm with a vested interest are Stratford bookmakers Coral, whose David Stevens told me about their market on whether Black Caviar would win any race at Royal Ascot in 2013.
Start of the year, she was in at 16 to 1 to win any race at Royal Ascot, and obviously those odds suggest that at that point we thought there was very little chance of her coming back. She did, of course, make the journey over here last summer. It was a fantastic day at Ascot with all the Black Caviar fans in attendance, but there's no doubt that she wasn't at her best that day. She still won the Diamond Jubilee Stakes, just beating Moonlight Cloud, but subsequent events showed that she may well have actually injured herself during that race. They took her back to Australia. They couldn't get her home quickly enough. But ever since then, of course, she's come back out. She's won her 2 starts down under. She's won them impressively, so much so that Peter Moody, the trainer, reckons that she could be as good as ever. And in a further twist to the story, they're now suggesting that she could come back to the UK, with the prime reason being a meeting with Frankel, who of course is now plying his trade as a stallion. Could come back for a meeting with Frankel, but if she did come back, then she could take in a race at Royal Ascot, which would be fantastic.
And so you were 16 to 1, and you've cut that in various stages as the smoke signals from Australia have been ever more positive towards a run at the Royal Meeting.
Yeah, I mean, the first price change came when she won her comeback race down under, the race named after herself there. We went 8 to 1 after that point. And at that point, it was still, a long shot. There was no great signs from the camp that she would come back. She then came out and won again this week, won the William Reid, and as I say, looked as good as ever under the floodlights at Moonee Valley. And at that point, Neil Werrett, one of the co-owners, came out and said, I'd love to bring her back. It would be great for racing. And at that point, we cut her again to 5 to 1. And punters at this point were sort of showing an interest. She then went into 7 to 2. And then when the news broke about the possible meeting with Frankel, well, that's when the odds just went through the floor. 5 to 2, 6 to 4, even money. But you still, the point is, if she did come over, she would undoubtedly be odds on. There's talk of the King's Stand Stakes over the furlong shorter, 5 furlongs being her target. If she comes over at her very best, she would be long odds on, make no mistake.
And would the King's Stand as opposed to the Diamond Jubilee, would that make any difference, do you think, the 5 furlongs as opposed to the 6?
I think she just got home in that 6 furlongs of the Diamond Jubilee last year, but as I said, she wasn't right that day. For me, she'd be odds on over the 5 furlong King Stands or the 6 furlong Diamond Jubilee. That's how far I think she is ahead of the European sprinters. Of course, it might not just be the European sprinters. We've got Japanese sprinters, Hong Kong trained sprinters. Nick Smith, of course, the Ascot PR guru. He's doing his best to get all these international stars there. But whatever the opposition, she would be odds on. She's 24 from 24. We've never seen a sprinter like her. As I say, whether it's the 5 furlong King Stand, whether it's a furlong further Diamond Jubilee, again, she would be odds on. She's the one they've got to beat.
And closer to home, this weekend, Aidan O'Brien has said that Kingsbarns, the Racing Post Trophy winner, might miss the 2,000 guineas because of a foot injury.
Yeah, this is interesting news that has broken. I wonder if it might be a blessing in disguise for the camp. Of course, this horse, so impressive when winning the Racing Post Trophy back end at Doncaster last season, went straight in as Derby favourite, but he wasn't favourite for the Guineas. That honour belongs to Dawn Approach. And I just wonder, after the experience last year with Camelot, of course, that historic Triple Crown bid, whether actually missing the first Classic at Newmarket might be a blessing in disguise. This horse would then be trained for the Derby. And the other thing that makes me wonder that they may not be too disappointed if Kingsbarn misses Newmarket is that they have what looks like a very strong second string in Cristoforo Colombo. Only won once as a 2-year-old, but clearly very highly regarded. In recent weeks has been good money for the Newmarket 2,000 guineas. He's now down to clear second favourite for that race. As I say, behind Dawn Approach, who's a hot favourite, and no surprise, his trainer Jim Bolger in terrific form. The first day of the Irish flat season, he dominated that, and his horse will start hot favourite for the Guineas.
David Stevens there with his thoughts about Black Caviar and also the 2,000 guineas market. We'll have more Newsboy on track on Wednesday. Join us then.